Anthropology and archaeology are actually very similar studies. They can even be confused with paleontology on occasion. But where a paleontologist might study the fossils and imprints left over time, an anthropologist and an archaeologist are going to study the civilizations and histories that might have existed alongside creatures. Not necessarily dinosaurs, but maybe their brothers and sisters, their late cousins. Where anthropology might study how we trade, archaeology will study the objects that we traded, the things that we gave value. They will study our culture through the actual artifacts. And today we'll be talking about a different kind of archaeology, one that would exist if, for instance, you ended up 1,000 years in the future. My name is Kelly, and I'm the teen programmer with the Hammond Branch Library, and today we'll be discussing the book, The Goddess and the Machine by Lora Beth Johnson. Today, we'll have our ASL translator, and I might get her name wrong, so forgive me. Is it Tatia? Tatia. Katea. I swear I thought it was a T, but I'm so glad she corrected me, but this is Katea, and she'll be helping me as we discuss both our book and the concept of archaeology today. Now, I mentioned something about time. The main character in this book is set to travel to another planet, not unlike some of the other stories we've covered, but she's supposed to wake up from her sleep in 100 years. Instead, 1,000 years have passed by the time she wakes up, and she has no idea what has happened to everyone else that was going to travel with her. Beyond that, there's a whole new culture that exists around her, one much more primitive than the one that she knew on Earth, and they have begun to worship her like a goddess. So, our character here, Andromeda, has to actually investigate her own past. She has to uncover what happened to her family, not only by listening to the stories of those around her, but going through the records and looking at the artifacts left in their wake. And we hope that she'll understand at the end what happened to her family, her friends, and everyone she knew. But what I want to know is, what kind of stories would our artifacts tell? For instance, if you saw this now, you know exactly what it's for. But 1,000 years from now, what will archaeologists assume? If they see hundreds and thousands of these just, I don't know, in this library, what would they think of them? Would they think they were something to eat off of, something to trade with? And especially if you can't turn it on, would they assume that we had so much information, so much of our world contained in this little box? You may not think that you're an important part of history, but the truth is, all the things that you have gathered in your life can tell a story. So I'd love to know what kind of story you tell. Please make sure to post it on Facebook. We'd love to see you soon. Remember, happy stories, happy reading. Bye-bye.